This week and morning and in the week ahead, and probably for years to come, we're going to be talking about the topic of immigration. This morning, some perspective on the complex and controversial issue with a weekly host of a radio program, also a law professor and a contributor here at News Channel 11, Stuart Harris. He teaches at Duncan School of Law, Lincoln Memorial University. Welcome in. And on your weekly constitutional, which we're going to hear this weekend at Tuesday again, you're talking once again about immigration. You can't get enough of this one, can you?
William Gill is a colleague and friend of mine, and I asked him if he could update me on all the things that are happening, and we sat down to do an interview. And about 2 hours later, I looked up and said, gee, I think we're going to have to do 2 shows on this. So last time, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the so-called Muslim ban case, and also about the separation of families at the border. This time we're focused more on William's own work. He represents migrants who are caught up in this immigration problem. Notably at the recent people who were caught up in the raid at the recent in Morristown, Tennessee. I think it was a chicken plant, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Some sort of factory where a lot of people apparently who weren't documented worked. And these are really poignant tales of families who, you know, certainly the children are completely innocent, whatever the parents might or might not have done. And the real problem initially for most of these people is that unlike a criminal case where you're being accused of a crime and you've got a right to counsel that's paid for by the state, there's no such right in immigration cases. And it's very difficult to get attorneys to volunteer their time on this because it's a highly specialized area, so they've got a very steep learning curve. And it's not something they can really apply to other areas of their practice. And moreover, these cases can go on for years, and so there's a huge need for attorneys to help these families. William does that, and that's what he's telling us all about.
And I imagine a fundamental question is, what are their rights?
Very little. Now, certainly some constitutional rights apply to all people, such as equal protection and due process. The Constitution says all persons. But in the immigration context, the courts have somewhat limited those rights. They're not interpreted exactly the same way. That's one of the complex areas of immigration law. So there are all sorts of issues, both constitutional and statutory, all sorts of potential defenses that should be explored. Certainly there's a basic right to due process of law, basic fairness of the proceedings. But how fair can any proceeding be when there's a language barrier and no interpreter, where there's a knowledge barrier and there's no lawyer? I mean, imagine yourself caught up in something like that, and that's what William tries to help with.
And to make sure we're clear, we're talking about, when we say they, what are their rights? These are people who are in the country illegally.
Possibly.
Illegally.
They don't have documentation in many cases.
Undocumented, at the very least.
And it ultimately, I mean, someone has to determine what their status is. And I think everyone can agree that that should happen. There should be some determination. The law needs to be enforced. But I think a lot of people get caught up in this that might actually have defenses or might have reasons that are perfectly appropriate to be here, but they don't have anybody to advocate for them.
And there they are with law enforcement and the courts.
Exactly. It must be a terrifying experience. And again, the children are innocent.
Yeah. Stuart Harris is a professor of law at the Duncan School of Law, Lincoln Memorial University. He's the host of your weekly constitutional, and you can hear the show on WETS FM Sunday at 3, Tuesday at 8. Stuart, thank you.
Thank you, Josh.